Hi there, Simone here, and welcome back to my platform. How are you, Sakafet? If you are a Creole speaker and you enjoy the Creole language as much as I do, then welcome to another episode of Untapped Potential with Dr. Simone. It is wonderful to have you here for another program. So come on in, come on in. We have another great guest for you this evening. We have Mr. Tyrone Azil, aka Jahari Chi. Okay, we're gonna have to practice that. He did give me the correct pronunciation, so we're going to practice that. But come on in, share the live. We have a young man who is very active in his community. He is doing so much in terms of community engagement, especially as it relates to young people, especially as it relates to being a social activist. And now he has launched his very first single, his very first song, and he's joining us today to officially launch his song. And so we want to welcome him. And as we welcome you to the program, of course, we have to thank our sponsor, TDN Radio, for all the support for providing this platform so we can come to you via the radio, via Facebook Live, so we can share all our talent. And as we thank TDN, we also thank you as well for all the work that you do to share the videos, to let everybody know that we are here. And we have to remember to thank Starring Carter. So Starring, if you're already on the Facebook Live, we want to say a special thank you to you for bringing Tehran to our attention. And you know, we're continuing to grow. We're continuing to grow, and we're very excited for the growth. At this point, between the 3 pages I manage, we have over 6,000 friends and followers, and we receive about 6,000 visitors to Push Past 10 every week. So we are so thankful for the support that we are receiving. And why is this important? This is important because the more we grow, the more you share the videos, the more we grow our audience, it gives us a greater opportunity to share all our talents. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone who continues to share our Facebook Lives, continues to spread the message as we continue to grow. So without any further ado, let me bring on Mr. Tyrone Azil as he introduces himself. He tells us where he's from in Dominica. Tyrone, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. I just want to thank you for having me on the show. I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. And again, we want to thank Starring Carter because she's definitely a starring.
Definitely. She has been very instrumental in, first of all, helping me to get the single on the radio in Dominica. And then also putting us in contact with each other to do this interview.
Yes, and you know, that is all we can ask of our community. When you've done the work, you've honed your skills, and you're ready to gain the exposure to the world, that we do what we can to support each other. So I'm really thankful that she reached out to me on your behalf. So go ahead and tell us who you are, what part of Dominica you're from, and just a little bit about life growing up in Dominica.
All right, well, I am from Portsmouth, Dominica, the second town. I was born in Point Michelle, but my family is from the north of the island. So when I was very young, we moved to Portsmouth, and that's where I grew up. Very in tune with nature and with living naturally. So that's something that I continue to carry with me whenever things get stressful and the stresses of life weigh you down. It's always good to center and get back to nature because we're all connected. On some of occasions, something that also grounded me is I have an uncle who very in tune with natural stuff, and he had a house up in the mountains. So sometimes on summer vacations, we would go up there and we would spend weeks up in the mountains just away from everything. And it really has given me perspective that helps me to really manage my stress level and my engagement in a lot of the things that gets us wild up in this world. So I'm very grateful for my upbringing in Dominica. Humble beginnings, but beginnings that continue to pay dividends in times like these when we have to manage not just our resources physically, but also our mental state and our ability to navigate troubling times.
Yes, absolutely. So what brought you to, because you live in Anguilla now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what brought you to Anguilla?
After I finished 2 years at the Dominica State College, my dad lived in Anguilla. And even before that, I used to visit on summer vacations. So after I finished college, back home, I didn't find anything to do to fit the things that I did. So I went on summer vacation again and I applied for a job in Anguilla and I was successful. And I've been there ever since.
Yeah, and you've been
So
in Anguilla how long?
13 years now.
13 years. So you're pretty much a citizen of Anguilla at this point. You could say
Pretty much,
that.
you
The
can say.
Dominic is still in your heart, like me, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I credit both islands for helping me to get to the point where I am now.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yes. Way of continuing our introduction, tell us about your profession. So what do you do professionally? And I know we can't wait to talk about your music, but you're such an interesting man that I thought we would spend some time just exploring who you are. So what do you do in terms of your profession?
my main job is teaching. So I've been a teacher for the past 13 years. It's what I've done from the time I started living in Anguilla. I've been at the primary level, so I've taught from grades 3 to 6. Then right now I'm a grade 4 teacher. Um, Over the years, while trying to understand the teaching profession and how it's evolved over time, um, our principal at the time realized that the male influence in the education system was lacking. So she started this program when I was at grade 6, where she created an all boys class. So when the kids got to grade 6, they would be divided by sex. A female teacher teaching the girls, and I would get all the boys. And we did that for about 4 years because at our school, some kids would go through the entire primary system and not have a male teacher. And for the men, for the young boys, like we spoke about before, some of them they don't even have that male influence at home. So we try to make sure that at an early age, before they get to the high school level, they could have a male influence. And for the 4 years I did it, it was very interesting. We got featured in a Caribbean magazine. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, we got featured in a Caribbean magazine because apart from just teaching the curriculum, we also did things that were more hands-on, more engaging. I would spend time playing basketball with them after school and even during school when during downtime and things like that. Just getting to know them more personally, even outside the classrooms, where they got more comfortable with telling me things in their personal life. And it was so interesting. I remember this one thing that our principal said. She told me that a parent came to her office, and she was talking about her son in my class, and she said that he said one thing that he likes is when he had all the female teachers, if they did one thing, then they would keep bringing it back up over and over and over every day. But with me, if they did something yesterday, the next day it's almost like it didn't even happen,
Oh
and we
boy,
can.
he's just putting us as women on blast, isn't he?
I'm just saying what he said.
Yes.
So so we don't notice certain things, but sometimes when you take time to analyze and understand the way children think and some of the things that they focus on, you can see that it actually has an impact. So
Yeah, and Turan, that is such a powerful point that you're making. We had a conversation before coming on the Facebook Live, and like I was telling you, it never occurred to me the important role of male teachers in the classroom, because some of
Yeah.
these young boys have no fathers at home.
Yeah.
So they're
And
pretty much
we,
surrounded by women, which, we can't fault the women for sometimes the absence of the man. But having a
um,
male teacher like you is such a positive role model for these young men.
and something, what I think is more so um, important is me being a male teacher, but me also being myself.
Yes.
Because we have created certain stereotypes in society that when children reach a certain age, they're like, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to go down this line because I can't be myself. I have to do this way. I have to do that way. And over the years, um, I've tried to ensure that I don't lose myself and who I am while trying to toe the line of making sure that I do not upset my superiors as well. But it's
Right.
something that's very important to me because I know that it makes a difference. I might not look like your average teacher the way I look, but that doesn't change the fact that what's in here is in here and I can impart it onto the youth. So we have to show them diversity because they are diverse. Everybody won't be an academic or top scholar, but everybody
Absolutely.
can get to a certain point where they can contribute to society. So we have to show that as well.
Yes, and I'm already enjoying this conversation, Taron. But before we continue, let me acknowledge everyone who's joining us on the Facebook Live already. We have quite a few folks who have checked in. So Beverly Johnson watching from California. Beverly, it's always great to see you, as well as Roslyn. I have some super fans, Taron. We put on a Facebook Live and they jump on it and they share the live and they support our people. And I'm so grateful for them. So we also have DJ Kubuli Toussaint. He's another favorite star in Carter. Thank you for being here. And again, thank you for introducing us to Tyrone and bringing him to our attention. And she says, definitely yes, psychosocial issues affects children and how they relate and cope in school. Great point. So we're looking forward to hearing from you guys on the Facebook Live. Don't forget to share the live because as you know, and I am quickly learning this, you never know who is looking at this Facebook Lives and the opportunities they can bring your way. So if 6,000 visitors every week, that's a lot of eyes. So I
Definitely.
encourage everyone to continue to share the live, tag someone, tag a few people to come on over as we enjoy this very important conversation. And I'm just going to take one more comment before we continue. We have Linda Banks. I'm sorry, I can pronounce your first name. Hail up, Tyrone, Jahari, Chi. You are such an awesome role model for the boys you teach and other men. We hope that more men will be motivated to follow you into the classroom. So I could not agree more. So again, thank you for the work that you're doing. And I also know that you're a social activist. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
For me, I just like going to school and going to college. One of the things that my lecturers always said is the goal of every generation is to leave the world better than they met it. So that's something that I always kept in my mind. And for me, first and foremost is making our Caribbean islands, because I'm not just in Dominica or Anguilla anymore. I have a love for the region. And for me, it's making our region better than I met it. And I think a big part of that is changing the way that we think, not just about issues outside of the region, but about ourselves. So for me, when it comes to issues of race and social inequality, whether that be financially or just opportunities for our people, is something that I take very serious. And what put me into this? So, well, I've always been a conscious person in terms of trying to understand my Black history and where I'm from and what makes me who I am. Most times when people ask me where I'm from, I say I don't know, because the truth is I was born in Dominica. But if I really have to break it down, I don't know where I'm from. So that's something that we need to find out. And if you are really interested in who you are, you need to understand how you got here and what are the factors that are still holding us down from succeeding to a point, to the point that certain other races are. And for me, I think one of the main issues is we need to realize that the system of racism and slavery, it still exists, it's just in a different form. And a thing that I am very passionate about is the type of leaders that we have in society right now. I believe that they they think about the now, and they don't think about, I can't say they don't think about the future, but they don't think about the future in terms of everybody, and they don't have the guts, or they lack the, I don't want to use a bad word, but they lack the guts to make certain decisions to make sure that their people are represented. And we as people too, we have to hold our leaders to a certain standard, because if we don't do that, then we're just gonna accept everything that is put on the table. So what I want to do is to awaken the mentality of as many people as possible, and to let them know that as much as we think we're free, there's a lot more out there that we can achieve and we can reach. And our leaders need to put us first, because the region is in a funny place right now where most islands are into tourism. That's the main industry, many islands. But tourism is a service industry, and who are we serving? Most of the people we serve are not our people. So, and then with the way things are being done right now, tourism is actually increasing the cost of living. And the local man in most Caribbean islands, it's very hard for them to keep up with that cost of living. So eventually they're going to get the lower paying jobs. The people who are coming in, they're coming in and they're expats, they're working in certain industries and they're making more money. They're going to be able to afford it. And eventually we're going to get ourselves back into a place where we are the least in our own countries, and it's going to be legal. It's going to be something that's going to be very hard for us to get out of. Whereas slavery, we fought out of it, and we are free to make certain decisions. But if we continue down this path without ensuring that our people are first, and the things that we do for them are first, 10, 20 years down the line, I can see us being in some serious problems. So.
Yeah, and I certainly agree with you. And I think a lot of people who are joining us on the Facebook Live would also agree with you, because when you look at a small island like Dominica and you look at Roseau, where you have 47 businesses in the city of Roseau being owned by Chinese nationals. And mind you, I don't have anything against the Chinese, right? I don't have anything against progress. I don't have anything against opportunities for people. But what you speak of is correct, because then it's almost like you're becoming a minority in your own island. Because yes, we have to give concessions to the foreigners to encourage them to come to invest in our islands and to invest in our businesses. But how is the local businessman able to compete with these concessions? So there has to be balance.
And then you can say, are you really giving them incentives to come in, or are you allowing them to exploit your island? Because in some of these countries where they come from, they can't pay their workers the wages that they pay our workers, because the minimum wage is 3 to 4 times higher than the wage that they can pay our workers. So they're basically exploiting us to promote themselves. And I'm all for diversity, but at the end of the day, we need to ensure that when we do it, we create a path, if not now, but down the line, for future generations to gain from that, from what we did. And the way that it's being done right now, that's not happening.
Yeah, and I'm really happy we're having this conversation. And of course, everybody will tell you I'm the least political person you would ever know. People who've been following me for the last almost year will tell you that I don't speak politics. But when it comes to fighting for the rights of our peoples, we have to speak the truth. And I'm
Yeah.
speaking from firsthand knowledge. I have a cousin who recently moved to Dominica. He's a builder, so he's in construction, and he's been looking for work for the last 6 months. And I was astonished when he told me that he went to certain projects and they were offering him 70 EC dollars a day
Uh,
to work.
yeah.
It's an insult. It's an
Very much.
insult. How do you sustain yourself on $70 a day? So I'm really happy that you're a social activist, that you're fighting for the rights for people, and I'm also very happy that you're recognizing the need to support our identity. Because I think
Mhm.
that was so powerful what you said, that when people ask you where you're from, you say, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
That is very
Mhm.
powerful. So thank you for sharing that. So if you're just joining us, we're speaking to Tyrone Azale, better known as Jahari Chi. Got it right. And he is a new up and coming reggae artist, originally from Dominica, now residing in Anguilla. He's also a teacher, a role model for so many young men. He's a social activist, and he's just telling us all about what he's been fighting for in terms of his social activism. So we are very happy that he's joining us. Now, you're also a poet, and now you have dropped your first song. But before we go into that, I want to share, because I know that you recently received an award that I wanted everyone to see, because we are so proud of you. So here it is. I just want to take a look so everyone can see.
How's that for you?
Tyrone Azale is a sixth grade teacher at the Adrian T. Hazel Primary School, where he teaches an all boys class by using strategies and techniques proven to be more suitable and effective in teaching boys and making their learning experiences more practical. He has transformed many young lives. Tyrone is also a poet, social activist, and artist who goes by the alias Jahari Chi, which means young, strong, and powerful life force. Tyrone truly hopes to be a force for change and lives by the motto, everything you desire to accomplish is possible. Just do it. Very powerful, very powerful. So, in terms of the strategies that you use to reach these boys, just share a couple with us very quickly.
Well, first and foremost, more hands-on approaches.
Hmm.
So instead of staying in the class all day, going outside and getting active, and
Right,
getting them engaged in, and that truly works for children of whether it's boys or girls,
right.
but just making sure that their lessons are catered to things that they're interested in,
Hmm.
because in that case, then they're more inclined to learn. Also, instead of just teaching the curriculum, having time where we can sit down and talk about social issues or issues affecting them, where they could come and just sit down and have a chat.
Hmm.
Or in the afternoons for the last 10, 15 minutes of the day, just talk about things that are going on, where they share stories and things like that were very, very impactful, I think.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's something that can be applied, because it doesn't have to be, well, having a male influence is very important, but some of these techniques can be applied by anybody, even parents at home, to
Hmm.
um to get to know their kids a little better, and
Right, right.
to push the right buttons to allow them to achieve the most out of their abilities.
Now, do you think discipline is more of an issue with an all boys class?
It was hard.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it
testosterone jumping
wasn't.
all over the place.
Yeah, it was hard, and part of getting them outside was to actually burn off some energy too.
Right.
Um, but it wasn't easy, but
Mhm.
it was worth it.
Right.
And
Now,
that's
is this a program that you guys are continuing, or was it just something that was shared at the time?
well, we
I'm pulling up
piloted it
your
for four
video.
years. Yeah, we piloted it for 4 years, and with a change in the administration,
Hmm.
not government, but at our school,
Hmm.
they decided to part ways with it. I don't know if it's gonna come back on stream, but yeah. So it's no
Hmm.
longer happening.
Yeah, yeah, that's unfortunate. Hopefully they will bring it back around. But let's jump into your music. So I'm gonna roll your very first single that is called. I'll let you introduce the song.
All right, guys, this is my very first single. It's called Two Cents, and the video was shot here in Anguilla. The song was recorded at the Anguilla Music Academy. Um, the producer of the song was a Dominican himself, Dennis Warrington. And big up to the guys in the studio, Omar and Darius, for helping to put this together. The video was shot by Mars Sim Visuals, a very talented group in Anguilla. And then in the video, I'm wearing a shirt that says "Nasty Good." It's one of my good friends in Anguilla. That's his brand, Judd Borden. Some of the kids that you see in the video are actually students who are in my class. My son is one of the kids is my son, and the others are his friends. I also have the leading female in the video, Tanika Hodge. She's on social media a lot. She has a YouTube channel as well that people can check that out. I think it's Tanika's Life. So yeah, so it was a whole group effort. I'm very happy with how the video came out, and yeah, check it out.
Yes, and congratulations on that. And let's just say we don't own the rights to the music or the content. So Facebook, please, bear with us because they keep flagging me, but we'll repeat it that we don't own the rights to the music or the content. So let's take a listen.
Jahari G, vibe with me. Woo! Hey. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. Everybody puts in their 2 cents now. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. And now we got $1 million story around town. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. Everybody puts in their 2 cents now. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. And now we got $1 million story. Johnny was a good boy going up to school. Top of the class, everybody know him cool. Never finished last, never breaking any rules. Every test Johnny passed, couldn't take him for a fool. Now Johnny on the road every day on the corner. Teacher them blame it on the marijuana. They say he learned it from me father cause he is a farmer. So them Johnny drug on who against that from a scholar. Then all them here is a Babylon, they pull up on the streets too. Find Johnny I with a joint in hand. For Babylon, black kings are in I demand. For them brave to the oppressor, the master plan that brave. Got to remedy the oppression. But Johnny real love was a must. But in this whole world, you don't know who to trust. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. Everybody puts in their 2 cents now. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. And now we got $1 million story around town. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. Everybody puts in their 2 cents now. Everybody puts in their 2 cents. And now we got $1 million story. Little Tatiana, she hotter than the sun. Love to dance, jealous girls and call her Tatiana. None of them wants to be your friend, she then becomes a loner. Like Corona, isolation, hate creation by a loveless nation, causing infestation of our mind and our soul. Heart and turn cold, diamonds and gold becomes a whole world, yeah. Now only material thing make Tatiana heart sing. You're trying not to be a trap queen empress. Don't you know you really are a black queen? I see royalty in your eyes, pride in your stripes. Never compromise, may your dreams never die. Cause in case case you don't know by now, no be queen. You got $1 million story around town. Everybody put in their 2 cents. Everybody put in their 2 cents now. Everybody put in their 2 cents. And now we got $1 million story around town. Everybody put in their 2 cents. Everybody put in their 2 cents now. Everybody put in their 2 cents. And now we got $1 million story. I probably got $1 billion story around town. But I don't give up. You wanna take me down? Go on, try your luck though. See, motivation is the envy of many, and you are mine.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. So, Facebook, show us some love. Show Jahari some love. What did you guys think about the song? Let us know. So, tell us about that song. Tyrone, what was the inspiration? What's the message? Just tell us about the song.
The inspiration is basically the life that a lot of young men and young women in the Caribbean go through. Like, sometimes it's a simple thing, and then a rumor is started about you. And because our societies are so small, sometimes that rumor can carry on with you for the rest of your life. So it's like sometimes everybody puts in their 2 cents, but you end up with a story that you can get out of. But it also has a positive message in that no matter what people say, you still in control of your story, and you can make that $1 million a positive thing if you think about how you can actually profit off of that. Because in the world today, there are many ways. If people are talking about you, then trust me, you can make money for you.
There's no such thing as negative publicity. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly.
Yes.
So
yes.
so if it's authentic, I just think that everybody needs to just understand that being your authentic self is very important, because you might think that it's not important, but somebody's looking at you and somebody's trying to say, okay, that person is thinking the way I'm thinking, and this is what they're doing. They keep going forward and trying to accomplish. So maybe I can do the same. So that's just what I am trying to do, because in order to accomplish some of these goals, you need money.
Yes.
And right now, my goal is to, and a lot of times people say, don't think about the money, don't do that, but I'm thinking about the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in order to put some of these things into action and put some of these ideas into, like, to make them work, you need funding. And if that funding is not coming, then you need to find ways to do it yourself. So part of me actually doing my poetry and doing music is just me using every bit of talent that I think I have and putting it out there, so that I can reap the rewards, and then in turn put that into projects that I have.
Yeah, and as speaking about our Caribbean society, I think we have this mentality where we don't think people should be rewarded and paid for their talents, and I'm so against that. If you're talented, you're given the talent so you can sustain your livelihood.
Yeah,
so why do you not want to profit off of you? If you're a writer, you should be able to write books and get paid. If you're a public speaker, a motivator, you should be able to get paid. If you're a singer and a poet, you should be able to get paid for that.
Yes, you should. I've been doing poetry seriously, because I started writing when I was about 8, but I didn't get, and then I would write, but then I never did anything with it. It's only been about 3 or 4 years that I've been doing it more seriously. And for the first 2 years, even though I was performing different places and putting my stuff out there, everything that I did, I never got paid for it. The first time I got paid for something was, I think, earlier in this year. I got paid for a performance.
Right.
So, and it was always like, this plan has been it's not something that just started. I always planned to come out with music. Like, before I started putting out my poetry and stuff, I had this presentation where I had the introduction to Jahari Chi, and I invited a few people, friends, people close to me, also people who have different businesses in Angola, and so on, just to come out and just to listen and give me feedback. And then I took that feedback and I formulated a plan, and it started with poetry and social activism. And then music is now one of the avenues that I'm going to use to push some of some of my ideas, and hopefully it resonates with people and they support the movement.
Yeah, and you speak so very well of the importance of remaining consistent and
Yeah,
not giving up. Because after 2 years, most people would have been like, well, I'm not getting paid for this poetry thing. I got responsibilities. So I'm
yeah,
going to put it to the side and just focus on teaching and be done with it.
yeah. But then if you do that, to be
You're not
honest,
living
if
your purpose.
you're not living your purpose, and the world, people like to say that they like to talk about the system, but it is really a system. It is a system. If you look at it, most people who are a lot of the people who are really successful are people who broke out of the system, even though they were part of it for a period of time. They always had a certain goal that they wanted to achieve. So the system is there. It's there for a reason. It's there for the world to function. But you also have to learn how to function within that system to achieve your true purpose. And I don't have all the answers. Like I'm still learning things every day. But so far on my journey, these are some of the things that I've realized and things that I've tried to implement in my daily life. Far from perfect, I have a lot of things to work on. I know, and I do know that in my personal life and professionally as well. A lot of things
Yeah,
to work.
and as someone who's getting more into this venture, I think something else a lot of us don't realize is the importance of branding yourself.
Yeah,
Have you thought about what your brand is, what your brand represents, how you're going to feature your brand?
I have. But my brand right now is do not judge me.
Right.
My brand is authenticity, and my
Yes.
brand is, and that's why I haven't put out an album, even though I have songs that I can probably put out an EP or an album. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come out with, I have at least 5 or 6 singles that are already written, and each one is different. Not everybody will agree or like everything that I put out, but I'm putting it out for a purpose,
Yeah.
because I believe that the generation that I want to impact, the song 2 Cents has a positive message, and a lot of them might identify with it, but they also identify with other things because they're young, they love to go out, they love to do other things. And that's why I think having interviews like these are more important, because when I put out a certain song, it is really going out there for a purpose, to reach a certain crowd, to get them in. But when we sit down and we have discussions like this, then I can actually explain why I'm doing certain things and the thought process behind it, and how I believe that certain people, how I believe that we as Caribbean people and Black people, how we can impact our societies positively. Because I don't want, one of the things after I had my first son, I don't want him to do the same things that I did. I mean,
Right.
I appreciate everything that our ancestors did in the past to get us to this point, but we also have a responsibility to take the next generation to even higher heights, and that's something that I really want to see happen.
Yeah.
Something that I didn't touch on, but something that I want to touch on is with social activism. There was this Dominican um, man who was killed by a tourist in Anguilla by the name
Yes.
of Kenny
We know the
Mitchell.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of the things, like where I had to actually hold up myself, because it was before the George Floyd situation in the United States. And then I found myself posting things about George Floyd and things like that. And then when I sat back, there was one day I was sitting and I was going through my post and I was like, "Are you being a hypocrite? Why are you talking about George Floyd and something like this happened right here in Angola, almost the same thing, and you're not doing or saying anything about it?" And then that's when I decided to start, because I also have this group called Caribbean Lives Matter on Facebook. You can check it out.
Right.
And we organized 2 rallies, one in Anguilla and one in Dominica, Kenny Mitchell rallies, just to get the story out there, so people could be more aware of what was happening. We also started a petition. We had 30 something thousand signatures on that petition. Um, Recently, there's some update in the case where Scott Hapgood, his appeal was denied. So the case is supposed to continue. The preliminary inquiry is supposed to continue. So that's some good news.
Right.
So just gonna keep following it and see what happens, because in situations like that, as Kenny Mitchell, I see Kenny Mitchell as me, because honestly, he has a young daughter. He's even might be a little younger than I am, and if it could have easily been somebody else. But what we fail to do in our Caribbean societies is when something happens, we're always saying, "Oh, that's them." We don't put
Right.
ourselves in that situation. Because if it was me, or if it was my brother in that situation, I don't know what I would have done. So I think of Kenny Mitchell as my brother.
Right.
I
Right.
also work at a restaurant a few nights a week, and I had guests who were like, "The guy who died, he's your brother, right?" And I was like, "No, he's not my brother." But
Why? Because he's black and you're black?
no, because I'm fighting for
Oh,
the
because you're
cause.
so passionate about what you're
And,
okay.
and sometimes I say my brother when I'm talking, but not blood brother. But
Right.
yeah, and that's how we have to think of each other, because trust me, it could be any one of us.
Right, right. Well, thank you for giving us an update, because Anthony was just asking about an update on the case. So thank you for providing an update on the case. And folks are already asking about where they can find your music. So I went ahead and posted the link to Spotify in the comments section, so that they can jump on and buy your music and just support you. Go to your YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because these are all very important ways to show your support for our up and rising artists. So what has the response to the song been so far?
Very, very good.
Good,
In Angola, the song is getting a lot of radio play, uh,
good.
which is good. Something that I want to do is get it more out into the region. So
Right.
reaching out to DJs and radio stations and things like that in the Caribbean. Because if the radio play in Angola is an example, then if it goes throughout the Caribbean, I'm sure the single can actually make waves. And I
Right.
also want to get it out there internationally, because with registered music, radio plays can also bring in revenue as well. So that's one of my goals right now. And I'm still doing poetry as well. I have a spoken word piece that I plan to release at the end of this month. It's gonna come out with a video as well, so people can look out for that. It will be on my YouTube channel, Jahari Chi Music. The single itself is also on Apple Music, iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon Music. It's on all these platforms. So you could get it on any one of those things. Just search Jahari Chi.
Yeah, and I'm happy I posted the spelling. So for anyone, because I will also replay this interview on my radio program. So for anyone who's listening to the radio program, Jahari is spelled Jahari, and Chi is Chi. So Jahari Chi. And I heard your music on Q95.
Yeah, awesome.
I actually did. So I think you're gaining some traction in Dominica as well.
Right now, I'm actually in Barbados. So while I'm out here, I'm going to try to promote it out here as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and
but
constant-
you're making wonderful strides. So that's great to hear. But what are some of the challenges you've faced so far? Some of the major obstacles that you're just facing as a new up and coming artist.
the main thing is, if you're going at it on your own, is the financial part of it.
Yes,
And,
yes.
that's the main thing. This one single, just one song, it costs about $2,000 just to put out one song. So the financial part of it is the main thing. Promotion and all that stuff, I do it myself. So that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And people think these content creators on YouTube and stuff, they think they're just sitting down behind a camera. No, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
When they reach a certain point, I guess they have people who do it for them. But in the early stages, it's a lot of work edit content and to look for things that people are interested in. But yeah, so financially, but I know that it's a process, and I'm not beating up myself about it. I
Mhm.
study the analytics, the views, and the engagement and things like that. And yeah, I don't really fret too much. I know what the
Yeah,
purpose is.
yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, and the whole promotions aspect is it's a full-time job.
It is.
And you
It
already have
is.
a full-time job. So, it takes a lot to do the YouTube and the Instagram and the Facebook and everything else that you have to constantly do
Yeah.
to keep promoting yourself, keep keeping those eyes on you because people forget so quickly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like some people are like, and that's the thing with our Caribbean society as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Caribbean. I love
Mm-hmm.
it,
Well,
but I
we're just speaking the truth, and there's nothing wrong with speaking the truth.
you have to for artists and for people to make it. You have to you have to support them. You have to
Yes.
share. You have to like. You have to comment. People say that for a
You
reason
have to subscribe
because
to YouTube.
you have to subscribe because when you engage, that's how the channel and the content stays within the algorithms. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't keep posting, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
fall. When people are like, man, he posts this already, he like attention, he's just doing this all the time. I don't even take that on because if you understand how it works, you understand that you have to keep the engagement up. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that if they understood, then they would know that they also have a role to play in making sure that the people who want to be in the forefront and want to actually help and assist and not just talk about it, but be about it, make sure that they play their part in helping them reach a certain level. Because trust me, in the Caribbean, something that makes us, we are already at a disadvantage because of our smaller populations. So countries with bigger populations, they have more people who can see it and who can like,
Share
subscribe,
it and like it. Yeah. Yeah.
so it really has to be a concerted effort. You have to have people who are following your
Mm-hmm.
journey. And I just want to be my authentic self and let people make their decision. But at the same time, I have to promote myself and let you know that I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about, and I really do want to help and really do want to make sure that we better ourselves as Caribbean people first. Because trust me, the other nations, they're doing it for their people,
Mm-hmm.
and they say it all the time, and they say it blatantly, and you see it. But when we do it, people always try to say, "But
Yeah,
you are
and you know that is a mentality we have to embrace. We have to
doing it."
think of social media more as a business opportunity because
It is.
what you're doing, I think you as someone who's constantly promoting yourself, sometimes you get the backlash, and you said it correctly that you just want attention. And yes, you want the attention because you're trying to promote yourself.
Yeah,
You don't want the attention because you're vain, because you think, well, I'm the best thing after sliced bread. You want the
exactly.
attention because the attention is what is going to take you to the next level. I mean, I was on somebody's Facebook page the other day, and she was getting such backlash from folks because she's constantly on Facebook promoting her hair salon.
Yeah,
And folks were saying, "Oh, you're just trying to get attention," blah. And I'm like,
yeah.
"Yes, she's trying to get attention because she needs
Exactly,
to
because
promote her business."
yeah, because they'll watch
Where's
the
the
basketball,
criticism?
they'll watch playoffs, and they'll watch different things on television, and they'll watch the same ad a million times during the commercial breaks, and they won't say anything because it's Coke, it's Pepsi. But it's the same thing that the young artist or the person out there is trying to do for themselves,
Yes.
by themselves. So it's just getting, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. The mentality, the way we think,
Yes.
that really needs to change because
Mhm.
that's going to prevent us from achieving our potential.
Right, right. So the next time we see somebody who's clearly trying to promote a business, maybe instead of criticizing them, we should just share the information they're trying to put out there to help
Just
them.
with information. I mean, what is it? Is it going to hurt you? I
Yeah,
mean,
just to click a
I
share
don't,
button.
I don't understand because trust me, the people I work with, and that's a big part of what I do. Anytime somebody helps me, I try to help you tenfold.
Right.
The anytime like the people who shot the music video, my friend Judd who helped sponsor the music video, in any way that I can help promote what they're doing, I do that, and they do the same. And that's the kind of people that I want around me, and that's the kind of thing that I want to continue. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for being here and congratulations again on your very first single. We are very proud of you. And I want to make sure we grab some of the Facebook comments before we finish our program this evening. So Rosalind said his hair is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And Starin says he actually has vlogs on how he manages it. So you're going to have to tell us how we can see all your social media. Richard St. Mary said testicular fortitude is not a bad word. I think he was referring to a previous conversation we were having.
Yeah.
Anthony Simon, it has always been that way with businesses in Dominica when we were talking about concessions for the foreigners and not Dominicans. Yes, DJ Kubuli, I hope you saw the link to the songs. I'm starring. I'm not sure what this chain of letters mean. AIDMAD, aid made. I'm not sure what she's trying to say. Maybe you can clarify that for us. Tina says, Tyrone, you are indeed multi-talented. I would agree. I admire too that you are able to impact positively on the way forward for our young male students. No one will do it. She also says we can do sometimes too short, too flam. If you're from Dominica, you know what that means. We're hot and we're cold. We tend to forget our own so quickly. We do not always embrace. On the converse, we've got to blow our own trump or else no one will do it for us. Okay? Anika, exactly. Henry, it's not attention. It's called marketing. Yes. Thank you, Henry. That's what we were talking about. He also says, have you tried to get on Coke Studio Africa? Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not. So
maybe look it up.
You can send me a DM and I'll check it out too. What is it?
It's called Coke Studio Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so look it up. So thank you, Henry. Thank you for sharing that information. Also, RTP Africa. So you can go back and look through the comments and you'll see what he's talking about. Anthony Simon, positive vibe, my island brother. So again, thank you, Tyrone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your inspiration with us and your new music. Now tell us all about how we can reach you, how we can support you.
Thank you very much for having me. I am very, very thankful. Ever since I started talking to you, you've been very warm, very welcoming, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well, as far as me, you can follow me on Facebook at Jahari Chi. On Instagram, it's Jahari_Chi. On YouTube, it's Jahari Chi Music. But on my YouTube channel, like right now, I have a vlog that's running. It's called Making X. It's following the journey from Anguilla to Barbados and the birth of my son. So it's a vlog that I post every Wednesday and Saturday. So my YouTube channel is you can subscribe to that. It's very active. I'm also on TikTok at Jahari Chi. So most of the social media platforms, you can find me there. The song, as I said before, Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes. It's on Tidal as well. Deezer, iHeartRadio. So all these platforms, you can search and you can find Jahari Chi 2 Cents. The music video is on my YouTube channel as well. I also have a lyric video on my YouTube channel where you have the lyrics. So if you want to learn the words or understand, because the lyrics are very important to me, the message in the song. So the lyric video, you can always check it out so you can know what I'm actually saying.
Yeah, so what I did as well, because I know on Facebook you're actually Tyrone Azil, so I put your name as well, so that if anyone wants to follow you on Facebook, they know where they can find you. Definitely. So any final thoughts for us as we wind down?
I just want to say that we need to, and I say we because I need to do it as well. Continue to stay conscious and understand that um, while we have a lot to grow and we learn every day, the things that we've learned up till now in our journey, we have to be able to share them honestly, because education is meant to it's meant to impart knowledge, but it's also meant to help you to understand your true self and live your dream and your passion. I don't think education did that for me. I think I was being bred into a system. I don't think that it taught me how to use my gifts, or maybe I didn't learn that message. Maybe I can't blame them. But I think we need to look at people, look at their skills, look at the things that they are passionate about, and help them to achieve those things. Because trust me, the world has had billions of people, and rich people or people who are successful come from every background, whether you're rich, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're Hispanic. You have people who have succeeded from every every aspect of humanity. And that's not to say that it's easy or just to say that you can do it, but it's you have the potential. You just have to um, learn how to navigate yourself through those waters. And it's something that I'm trying to do myself. So it's a journey, and we can follow each other on that journey.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I couldn't have said it better because you are supposed to be following your own path, and sometimes the system does not teach you how to embrace you and how to profit. Very
def-
important, profit from who you are. So thank you for being your authentic self and
Thank
for
you.
joining us. And Starrin was saying that it was that she was trying to represent the flags of Dominican and Anguilla, but it ended up being just letters. So thank you,
Um,
Starrin. Thank you for doing so. And again, thank you for inviting Tyrone to be a part of our Facebook Live. And Henry also said he will contact you.
all
So
right. Thank you. Looking forward.
he's a Guanam, a big guy in the music business. So he's a good
Amazing.
contact
Thank you very
to
much. I
have. And
appreciate it.
I, yes, and I'm hoping lots of, because I tagged quite a few musicians on this Facebook Live. So I'm also hoping that they will reach out to you as well, including Colton T. He's the
Awesome.
next reggae person in Dominica. So I'm hoping that he will see this live and he will reach out to you as well. Maybe you guys can collaborate. That would be wonderful.
I was actually listening to some of his music early on tonight as well. So
Yes, yes. And of
yeah,
course,
I definitely would support and work with any Dominican,
yes,
Caribbean, any artist who I could work with.
yes.
Once we can vibe on that level and respect
Mhm.
each other and move on, then I am free to work with anybody.
Yes, and of course, as we're calling reggae artists out of Dominica, we can't forget the legend himself, Nasio Fontaine. So, I mean, wow, what an honor that would be.
Yes, and this song had a reggae vibe to it, which is more down the Caribbean lines. Some other songs might have a soca tinge to it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I
we're going
heard
to
a
have,
little jazz in there. I meant to tell you, I
yeah,
heard a touch of jazz in there.
jazz and the saxophone as well. So
Yeah.
we're trying to incorporate different sounds. It's kind of like it has reggae, but it's sort of like an Afro pop kind
Mhm.
of vibe. So we're trying to play with the music, find something different, go down, and hopefully all people enjoy it.
Yeah, I think the signal is breaking up, but we want to thank you for gracing us with your presence and telling us about your wonderful journey and your experiences. And I think that the sky is the limit for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. And I
Yeah. So
also
when
love
so
to
when
work.
you get bigger, when you get big, I hope you come back and see us.
Definitely, I'll come back. I'll invite you, everybody else who I can invite. Of course, for real though.
Yes, yes. Thank you, so, and thank you everyone for being here for yet another Facebook Live presentation. And don't forget to share and like this video and support Jahari Chi in any way that you can. Please support him. Please share and support his work. And of course, don't forget to like Push Past 10 and follow us for other great conversations, other great content as we celebrate summer 2021, as well as the upcoming season. So again, we are here to promote our people, our products, and our culture. So if you have anyone in mind, the same way Starrin was able to bring Jahari to our attention. If you have anyone in mind that you would like to promote, please feel free to send me a message right here on Facebook, or you can email me at pushpast10@gmail.com. So pushpast, the number 10 at gmail.com. And I want to thank you for being here, and you have yourself a wonderful evening. Take care.